first, congratulations on your book. Did you foresee while writing it back in the pandemic, in the beginning of the pandemic, that it was going to be an Amazon bestseller, translated into multiple languages, and ultimately such a huge success?
I really didn't know. It was such a shock because you know what it was like in the pandemic. I had my children at home. I was homeschooling them, and I was writing that in my sort of, you know, in the spare time. And yeah, I did really enjoy writing the book. So I think I enjoyed it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that came across. I don't know. But yeah, I was shocked. I didn't expect that at all. So it was lovely.
It is highly, highly enjoyable to your reading public as well. And I know you have heard this one before, but it is very cinematic. Now, have you thought about having it made into a movie or a miniseries?
I think there's an option in the UK for it to be on the telly, like the British telly, but it's just, you know, how these things work as an option, and, you know, who knows if it will actually get made. But it would be amazing if it got made. It'd be like a dream, definitely.
Well, I'm crossing my fingers. So we're expecting it here in Romania as well. Now, you have quid pro quos. You have bodies being dug up in the backyard of number 9, Skeleton Place. You have twists of plot. You have gasping moments. You have everything. What was the most fun part to write? Because you said you had lots of fun while writing.
Yes, I really like writing the past plot with Rose and Daphne. That was really good fun to write. I think it's because it was set in like 1980. So to go back to 1980, yes. And, you know, I mean, I was only like 4 in 1980. So I had to ask my mum quite a lot of like what the fashions were like, and, you know, what it was like in 1980. So yeah, but it was really good fun to write that. And I really enjoyed writing the relationship between Rose and Daphne. That was really good fun to write.
It's a very nice read indeed. Now, the link between motherhood and memory is one of the most thrilling and beautiful aspects of your book. Why was it interesting to explore for you?
I think I had a grandmother had Alzheimer's, and I was just suddenly thought about it one day. I just thought, imagine if like you had maybe committed a crime or were around at the time of a crime, and you sort of can't really remember that you've done something, so, you know, you've been part of something like so huge. And that's what I thought that's quite an interesting like storyline that I don't think I've read much about. And then I quite like the idea of like the 3 generations of women, like the granddaughter, the daughter, and the grandmother, and how they've all got slightly different relationships with each other. And then obviously, I without giving too much away about Rose in the nursing home, just little snippets of things will come back to her about the past, and it's like just trying to unravel, you know, the memory of what happened in the past. But also, I quite liked exploring the memories of our childhood and how you might have. 2 people might have a different memory of the same event. Like, so like Lorna and Safi might have completely different memories of the same thing that might have happened in the childhood. Yeah, I just think that's quite interesting. It's like when I talk to my mum and I'll be like, oh, this happened. And she'll be like, well, no, it didn't happen quite like that. And it might have happened this way. And in her memory, it happened a different way, you know? So it's
yes, and when bits of the past are missing from one woman's memory, they're missing from everybody's memory. And I also love the fact that this meandering memory of events is also paralleled by gut instinct, especially when you're talking about Safi and Lorna.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's the thing, because obviously Lorna was so young at the time as well, when all these things happen. She just gets feelings. Like, so when she goes back to the village, she gets like a feeling of almost deja vu, and knowing that she's been there, but, you know, can't quite place it. So yes, I quite enjoyed writing that whole of the feeling of a memory, you know, what it sort of can do to you.
There's a beautiful scene when Lorna comes back to Skeleton Place and her daughter is pregnant, and she's being told that there have been bodies dug up in the backyard. And she enters the house and she says, I've been here before. Now, do you have a favorite scene?
Yes, that is I did really enjoy writing that. When she goes up into the bedroom and she looks out onto the garden and she sees the tree, and she's like, oh, that's really like, I've got a real memory of that. But yeah, I did
it's really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I did enjoy that.
Now, you have a pregnancy, you have several crimes, unknown family ties, and as I was saying, a lot of gut feeling in this book, which was for you, let's say, the winning ingredient of this concoct.
Yes, I really liked writing different perspectives. So I really enjoyed putting Thea in it, because I've never written from the perspective of a man before. So I was really I was like, can I bring a male character into this as well, and have his perspective on everything as a man? And that was really good fun to write. So I really enjoyed writing him. So I think it's having the different perspective of the same story from different aspects, which I think makes it a sort of page turner, because you've got different points of view. Rather than just having one person's point of view, you've got several, which gives you a bigger picture, I think, of the whole event. Like
exactly. As I was telling you, it's like watching a movie and you feel it's being edited all the time, and it's very, very tense. And it is indeed a page turner, as you said. Oh. Now, I was wondering, how do you relate to being a successful author?
Oh, I don't think it's very strange. I still don't feel like I'm a successful author.
You are.
Oh, that's really, it's weird because when you're at home, you're at home and you're writing your books and you don't really see everything else. So I think, yeah, it's a strange, but it's lovely. It's lovely because it's been a dream of mine for such a long time to write books and for people to read them. So for me, the fact that people are reading my books is in all the different countries as well. I mean, it's amazing. It's a lovely feeling.
One of the things I really liked is the fact that it seemed to me that you were trying to dismantle this cultural construct of the dream house, because you have this young couple moving into a perfect house, it's the dream cottage, which turns out to be a crime scene.
Yes. Yeah, because years ago, when I was a journalist, there was I covered a story about this young couple that had moved into this old house, and they were having the basement dug out, and they found a skeleton, and so that was the idea. But but the skeleton was like dated back to like Roman times, so it wasn't a crime or anything like that. It was like really old. But I suddenly when I was thinking, what can I write about next? I remember that this like lovely couple, and they were all excited about the house, and I thought, oh, how exciting if maybe the bodies were actually more recent and that something could happen there. So that's what gave me the idea.
That's quite thrilling indeed. I mean, you have this romantic thing, this very romantic setting, and then can a body be a deal breaker in the end or not?
Yes, yeah. And I'm not quite sure if I could stay in the house after that.
Well, it is a question that our readers have to answer for themselves. Now, what was the most interesting part of writing the novel for you? Because for us, I know it is indeed a thrilling experience to read.
I really loved writing. So without giving it away, I loved the twist when you realise that things aren't quite as they seem. And there's another character's voice that comes into it a bit later, which I really enjoyed writing. I couldn't wait to get to that bit because I knew that this bit was coming. And I thought, I can't wait to inject that bit into the story as well. So I did. But I also really loved writing about the relationship between Safi and her grandmother, because I think that they've got a very sweet relationship. And I really enjoyed writing that when she goes to visit her in the home and they talk, and then she goes to visit her later in the bed. Those bits I really enjoyed writing, the sort of like more emotional scenes. That was fun to write for them.
That's very interesting because it also relates to identity and the fact that we are different people to different people.
Yes. Because with the grandmother and then her own daughter, there's a very, strange sort of they don't really get on. But yet to Safi, the granddaughter, she just, she loves the grandmother and she sees a different side to her to what the mother sees. So, yeah, I did really enjoy, and the same thing as well, because I think Lorna and Safi have also had a bit of a tuggle with their
yes, indeed.
Yeah. So to write that was.
You mentioned moving from voice to voice and the fact that this was challenging for you and fun and nice and interesting. But how is it when you have to write different voices into the same character? Because this is what you do. You blend different voices, different types of personality, let's say, into the same character.
Yeah, that is hard. And I think what I always worry about is that I don't want the characters to sound the same. So you want to try and give each voice a distinctive personality in a way so that they don't, so you don't read it and think, oh, this Safi sounds like Lorna and Lorna sounds like, Rose. So I made sure at the end that I read each part separately so that I kept, so I just read all Rose's bits at once when I edited Rose's bits and I edited all Safi's bits so that I kept into their character. So I don't want to get the characters, murky, I wanted them specific.
What was the most delicious, let's say, reaction you got so far from your readers?
I think I love it when people don't guess the twist. So some people do guess the twist, or some people just get in the twist and they're like, but when people really don't get it, And that is like, oh my God. And they're like, oh my God, I love that. I love that. and also I quite like when people say that they felt sad, a little bit like emotional towards the end, that's quite nice as well. You think, oh, that's, I
love that too. Yeah. And I absolutely love the irony in the title. And now, this is my last question to you would be about how did you choose it? I don't want to disclose too much to give spoilers to those who haven't read the book yet, but this is a very interesting title indeed, because it captures in a way that twist you were talking about.
Yes. I think what I love about it is that it could be the couple of bodies. It could be, Daphne and Rose, or it could be Safi and, it could be like so many different people. But it was actually going to be called, it was a last minute change, because we were going to call it the name of the house. We were going to call it like 9 Skelton Place.
Yes.
And then my editor was like, I'm not sure if we want that. So then they were thinking about maybe the family at number 9. And I said, I think there's more of a couple. It's more about couples. And so we tried to change it to the couple. So yes, I'm so pleased we did change it. But it was literally like probably within, just before it went to print, we decided to change it. So I'm really glad we did.
A last minute plot twist.
Yes.
Wow. Claire Douglas, thank you so much for a great book and a wonderful interview.
Thank you. It's lovely to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you soon.